Hey, from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your host, John Trumbull.
And I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
Yeah!
Ah!
Energy!
Yeah, no, I'm feeling all pumped up and excited after seeing the movie we're going to talk about, because we've come to the end of our Superman SNL extravaganza bonanza jamboree.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, as all the kids have been calling it, Superman extravaganza bonanza jamboree.
It's a hell of a hashtag.
Yeah. It's it's like the wordiest hashtag ever.
It's almost a tweet.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
But yeah, we first started off with all the Superman SNL sketches.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went into the the Superman 50th anniversary special that aired on CBS back in '88.
Right.
And now here we are, sir. The culmination of all of those things. It's here. Today's the day. The wait is over. Superman 2025.
Directed by James Gunn, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, and our SNL connection, Beck Bennett, as sports writer Steve Lombard from the Daily Planet.
Mm-hmm. With an exquisite mustache. That thing
yes.
You can set your watch to that thing.
It just occurred to me that, James Gunn, he's directed two DCU movies so far, had an SNL person in them both. Because in Suicide Squad, he had Pete Davidson. In Superman, he has Beck Bennett. I like this. He should just introduce an SNL person in each movie he does for the DCU or DC Studios, and that way we can just keep talking about him.
Absolutely. Listeners, call in. Let us know what SNL cast member you would like to see portray. What DC character you would like to see an SNL cast member portray in a future DC movie. I'm trying to think of who would be good for what.
Yeah, he was James Gunn was actually on Late Night with Seth Meyers this last week, and Seth Meyers was he's a big comic book fan. He was brainstorming hey, I could I have this picture of me as the Ted Kord Blue Beetle from Kevin Maguire. You could have me as Blue Beetle, and he was suggesting other characters I think he suggested Animal Man. And James Gunn was like, "Oh no, Animal Man's too important for you."
Animal Man?
Yeah,
I don't think I'm familiar with that guy.
He was a character that he basically could duplicate the powers of any animal, but I think he had to be in proximity to the animal.
Oh,
within a mile or two or something like that.
Oh, okay. So basically, like Wi-Fi, wherever's the roaming.
Exactly. Yeah, he has to enter in the right password. It's a whole thing.
Okay, got it.
It's some animals are cap sensitive. It's but yeah, Animal Man was kind of an obscure character until a writer by the name of Grant Morrison revived him in a series in, I guess it was the early '90s, and that was a very well regarded series, and it kind of made Animal Man a contender for the first time ever.
Interesting.
Ended up joining the Justice League and all that. So they're Animal Man fans out there, and we're going to talk about this new Superman movie. It's been out for about a week now.
Right, it's been about a week. We've been waiting for it for the longest time here on the podcast. So I guess we'll start off sort of non-spoilery.
Right.
So just going into this film, what were your expectations? What did you think? I guess a general overall non-spoilery, thoughts about the film as a whole.
Overall, I liked it. I was looking forward to it. I really liked James Gunn's his previous DC film, The Suicide Squad. I thought that was great. I thought the movie was really well cast. I think he's got a knack for casting. I really liked what I saw in the trailers. I thought it was neat that this is sort of a restart for the DC universe on film,
right?
Because the last one, we don't have to get into it, but they kind of fumbled the ball a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And not that everything that they did was bad under the previous regime, but it was a mixed bag at best.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing somebody on YouTube say it, and I agree with the sentiment where they say, the Zack Snyder Supermans, they're not bad movies. They're
Hmm.
well done. They have some really cool fight scenes,
Yeah.
but they're not Superman movies.
Hmm.
Like I think for the most part, like most people think of Superman to think of one thing, and this movie kind of took liberties with that. Like for one instance, I forget where I saw it, but like somebody online was like saying, yeah, in those Zack Snyder's movies, I don't remember Superman actually like saving anybody. Like I don't think he ever came to anybody's rescue. Like with the exception of maybe
Yeah.
Lois, but like he wasn't like saving the average Joe on the street really, and that's kind of Superman's whole thing, if I'm not
Yeah, I mean,
mistaken.
and they had the bit where I don't want to get into this whole criticism of the Snyder movies because it's been
Right,
done to death mostly,
right.
but yeah, they had the thing where like young Clark Kent, he saves the school bus of children, and Pa Kent's like, oh, maybe you should have let those kids die. I don't
Like
know.
Jesus, Pa,
Yeah,
damn.
so it's like, yeah, I feel like we're a little far away from the heart of the character now.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've. I mean, look, some people take liberties with characters,
Mhm.
and that's fine with it. But like, I think no matter what character you take liberty with, you still need to have like the main heart of the character there, or the main,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, pathos, I guess, in that character, or else you're just doing a totally different character, and then what's the point?
Yeah. So I was really looking forward to this movie. What about you? What was your journey with this movie, I suppose?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a diehard Superman fan like you are, but I was
Hmm.
expecting like a good movie, something different than the movies that preceded it. I know a lot of people were a little concerned. I guess I was too, slightly, when they found out James Gunn was directing it, because they
Hmm.
were thinking, oh, it's going to be, he's not going to capture the right tone that you need for Superman. He's going to
Yeah,
James
because
Gunn
I
it.
mean, he can be kind of irreverent. I suppose would be a good word for it.
Yeah, and like I mean, there was maybe one or two scenes that do have the James Gunn stamp on them that you're expecting,
Hmm.
but like for the most part, I think he did like rein it in a little bit more and make it more fit the tone of what people think a Superman film should be. I mean, it basically just I don't know. Well, we'll probably get into it, but like I've seen a lot of people say that a lot of people are saying I've seen a lot of people
Hmm.
say that this movie is basically a comic book. It's very much a
Hmm.
very comic booky movie, and I'd have to agree. And I mean, we'll get into it why later, but bright colors and just
Hmm.
like quick action. We don't get a lot of, you know, I guess like backstory for a lot of this. We're kind of just plopped in right into
There,
the
no origin for Superman. There's just
no,
yeah,
no,
we just start out. There's like some text at the beginning. It was saying that 300 years ago, metahumans first appeared. And then 30
right.
years ago, this baby rocketed to Earth. 3 years ago, he debuted as Superman. 3 months ago, this happened. 3 weeks ago, this happened. 3 minutes ago, this happened. James Gunn likes the number three a whole lot.
Yeah, I guess it's just like it's just like a little bit of a poetry there. It's kind of
Hmm.
rhythmic, and from what I also think I saw somewhere that they said that was David Cornsweet's idea to have the text crawl explain it, because apparently he is a huge Star Wars fan, and that
Oh,
seems like something like Star Wars would do with the text crawl and whatnot.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, so I had all those expectations going in, and then for the most part, yeah, I would say I really enjoyed this film. I think I enjoyed it more the second time seeing it. I've seen it twice,
Hmm.
or at this
Yeah,
point,
I saw it twice too. I
and
saw it again last night. You just saw it again earlier today.
yeah, and I think because like the first time I saw it, I liked it, but they were kind of dumping there's a lot going on. They dump a lot of information
Yeah,
on you, and
yeah.
then when I saw it the second time, like I kind of knew what to expect, so I was able to enjoy it a little bit more, and maybe focus in on a few things here and there that I missed the first time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I was there, but yeah, I liked it the first time. I liked it more the second.
Yeah, I would say if I have a big criticism of the movie is that yeah, it maybe does try to do a little too much.
Yeah,
Because I mean, because we got Superman, we got a bunch of other characters in there. There's Mister Terrific, Hawkgirl, the Guy Gardner, Green Lantern is in there, Crypto is in there. We got Lex Luthor. There's a few other characters who are servicing Lex Luthor. There's a character called the Engineer,
yeah.
um,
Ult-
and
Ultraman,
Ultraman, and
Metamorphose in here.
Metamorpho. Yeah, Superman and the what they call the Justice Gang. They fight a kaiju at one
Oof.
point. There's a lot that happens in this movie.
There, yeah, like almost to the point I mean, I was able to keep up with everything, but like
Mm-hmm.
the first time, but like as I was watching it the first time, I was like, all right, I know I'm missing. I know something just flew by my head that I didn't catch because like I'm trying to take
Yeah,
it all this because also there's a war going on between two countries, Boravia and Jamanpur, and like
yeah,
there's so with all of that, where like you have the characters that works with Lex, and then you have the Justice Gang, then you
yeah.
have the people at the Daily Planet, and now you have a
Mm-hmm.
war too. It is a lot. It is a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. And at one point we go back to Smallville. We see Mon Pa Kent.
Mm,
We got Superman and Lois have been dating for about 3 months as this
yes.
movie begins, and that's a whole thing. They've got a whole subplot.
Right. I did
There's
like that one scene that they had with the interview in Lois's apartment. I thought
Yeah, it's a great scene.
that was really good. And I'll say that too. Like the chemistry between Corn Sweat and Brosnahan is off the charts good. I think they
Yeah,
really like connect, I thought.
yeah, they're really good. They're really believable as a couple. I think they played their roles well individually, and they have nice chemistry together. And they're separated for a good portion of the movie. They're together at the beginning, and then they don't really come together again until the end because Superman's off doing his own Superman things. Lois Lane has her own whole subplot thing where we follow her, and
Yeah,
they
because she's
kind
trying.
of intertwine, but not too much.
Yeah, because she's trying to get to the bottom. I guess we're in the spoilery parts right now. But yeah, because she's trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with this war and why
Yeah,
Lex seems to have his own interests involved in it. So like we see Lois do
yeah.
some like journalism work,
She
which
does a journalism. Yeah,
she
yeah.
does. She's a journalist. She's
I
journalizing.
I like early in the film we see there's this big Clark and Lois thing, and it's been in the trailers where she's interviewing Clark as Superman. Oh, I mean, he's dressed as Clark, but he's kind of in character as Superman, I guess, because
Right.
she's like, dude, you're always like interviewing yourself for these articles, and that's honestly not cool from a journalistic ethics
Oh, you can't do.
perspective.
Oh, you can't do that.
And she's like, you literally know the questions ahead of time, and they have this scene where she's kind of grilling him about what he's done to prevent this war in these two countries.
Yeah, Boravia and Jarhampur, which a lot of
Mhm.
people are kind of equating to certain current events happening right now. Which I mean, James
Yeah,
Gunn said he wasn't referencing that war,
right.
but a lot of people are saying this seems like you're referencing that war.
It
Which,
it seems close, but but then again, there's pretty much always some country that's invading another country.
yeah, I mean,
So
yeah, I mean, this could be he could be talking. You could say this war is about like the Ukraine Russia thing, and not
yeah,
there's so
and
many
that's been going
wars
on for a few years now. So
still going on.
yeah, sadly.
Sadly,
Um, uh, yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
there's
but
a lot. I enjoyed that scene a lot. I
yeah.
liked we see Lois Lane's apartment. I love that her Lois Lane has like a lot of books around her apartment.
Oh, she's a reader.
Yeah, yeah.
She be reading.
It's a good scene.
Yeah, no, I dug it. It's like I mean, it's like a kind of a long scene too. It's like
Mhm.
12, like 10 or 12 minutes. It's a good
Yeah,
chunk of the
yeah.
movie, but it works. It pops. Like
But and it sets up their characters really well because Superman sees the world in kind of very black and white terms, like this is good, this is bad, and Lois is more skeptical and more nuanced and stuff, and
right
she's like,
because like
I
Lois is
I only
yeah, 'cause-
believe what I can verify, and yeah,
right, yeah, because like Lois is saying like basically, well, the people of Boravia, you stopped this war between them. Did you consult the president of Boravia? It's like no, I didn't, and it's like you just went into foreign territory and just stopped this war like defending Jarimpur, like taking a side,
yeah,
and you're basically, but you're also from the U.S. So in a way, you're saying you're representing us, the United
yeah,
States, when you're taking a side, protecting Jarimpur against Boravia, and U.S. is already allies with Boravia, so this could be
hmm
seen as a slight, and like it's
yeah,
it's all stuff that Superman doesn't think of, because like, no, I'm saving people from dying. People are going
Yeah,
to die. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's really interesting. I really dug this scene quite a bit.
yeah. It might be my favorite scene in the movie. It's a really good. I mean, it's just kind of pure character because
Yeah.
it's just the two of them, and it ends with Lois going, "I knew this was never going to work."
Mm,
Because they've been, like, I think, as I said, they've been dating for about 3 months at this point. She knows Superman's identity and all
right.
that, and I think, as James Gunn has said, you're 3 months in, and you're kind of at that point where you're just like, oh, is this just a fun fling, or is this going to go the distance?
Mm.
You kind of have to figure out where you're going, and at one point during the film, Superman says, "I love you" to Lois Lane, and
Aww.
and then we find out a little after that she was going to break up with him.
Oh.
so,
I was gonna dump his ass, but then,
so they're not quite on the same page. Um, and yeah, we got Lex Luthering about.
Nicholas Holt doing a pretty damn good job as like Lex really
Yeah,
seemed like a formidable opponent to Superman. Like
yeah,
he's genuinely like, oh no, he could definitely go toe to toe with Superman. Like I believe him.
yeah. I mean, because he's smart, he's arrogant, he's shrewd, he's got, like, his finger in a million pies. It's I loved it one bit. He breaks into the Fortress of Solitude, and he's talking about Superman. And he goes, "He's not a man, he's an it." And
Yeah,
he talks about how Superman's like this alien invader, and
yeah.
he's talking to the Pentagon, and he's saying, like, yeah, the Superman guy, he's up to no good. He's a bad dude.
Yeah. That's a scene where he's like, basically, because of Superman's actions in Baravia, Lex is trying to get his team together to, like, stop him. The team includes, of course, his team of Raptors, Ultraman, and the Engineer, who's will be part of the Authority film, some upcoming film that
Right.
James Gunn has, and like together they're called Planet Watch, and Lex wants Planet Watch to lock up all metahumans and specifically take down Superman. And there we see General Maury, we see General Rick Flag Sr.,
Mm-hmm.
father of Rick Flag Jr. from the Suicide Squad. And we see Florence Crowley, who is the director of
Crawley, yeah,
Crawley, who's the
yeah.
director of Argus now.
She's if you saw James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie, she was the one who, like, whacked Waller with a golf club
Bam.
during the movie. Yeah,
Hmm.
so it was like, oh, that's neat to see Flo Crawley back. So, and
Yeah, yeah,
she's a character from the comics who was, kind of a deep cut character from the comics. He was like a supporting character in the Suicide Squad comics. So I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's neat.
Lex. I mean, not Lex, but James Gunn likes to bring up like really kind of deep cut characters, because like
Mm-hmm.
when you see Lex's team, you see Otis there, as the main henchman, who was played by Ned Beatty in the first Superman film.
Yeah, but they call him Otis Berg here,
Mm,
which is like a nice sort of in joke name, because in the Richard Donner Superman movie from 1978, Lex Luthor has a scheme where he's going to sink half of California into the ocean to make all the desert land that he's bought valuable oceanfront property, and he's pointing out, like, on his map, he's like, Costa del Lex, Marina del Lex, and then scrolled in hand it says Otisburg, and he
mm.
goes, Otisburg, and Otis, played by Ned Beatty, was like, it's a little bitty place. Miss Tesswalker, she has her own place, and yeah, so that was a very cute in joke.
Miss Tessmacher.
And we have Miss Tessmacher in this movie as well. She's
Yeah,
Lex's girlfriend.
yeah.
She's got a few surprises up her sleeve.
Ooh,
Um,
we see Sidney Happerstein in there for a little bit.
Yeah, Sidney Haberstein, who was like, again, an obscure character from the Superman comics, who was like this scientist that worked for Lex. I saw the mustache and the glasses on the guy. I was like, is that Haberstein?
Like, who else could it be? Look at that!
Yeah,
Look at that flavor saver.
look at that stash. Yeah.
Oh, his hair is perfect. Uh, yeah. So there's a lot of characters in this, especially surprise character to see, because in the beginning of the film we see Superman getting beat up by the Hammer of Baravia. He
Hmm.
called, this is all in the trailer. He calls Crypto. Crypto pulls him back to the Fortress of Solitude, and then we
Yeah.
see the message from Superman's Kryptonian parents, Jor-El and Lara, being
Right.
played by Bradley Cooper and Angela Sarafian,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
surprising to see.
And they're speaking Kryptonian. The Kryptonian sounds very Slavic in this movie.
Yeah, I think they made a choice to make it sound a little bit more like European.
Yeah. And they're playing a message that Superman's parents said along with him when they rocketed to Earth, and they're like, oh, you're the last son of Krypton, and you're our only hope, and blah 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 blah, and it's all nice and inspiring. And then after Luthor and the engineer break into the Fortress of Solitude, the engineer merges with the computers and is able to like get the rest of the message through computer mumbo jumbo stuff, and then they reveal the message, and it's bad news. It turns out like the end of the message, Jor-El is saying like, yeah, you've got a rule over these ignorant humans. They're simple and profoundly confused. Dispatch of anyone who doesn't want to serve you. Create a harem.
Yeah.
Carry on your Kryptonian genes. It takes a turn.
Yeah. So as a Superman fan, what do you think of that? That turn, like, because like I know for the most part in other Superman movies, like
Yeah.
Jor-El and Lara play as very noble people. So to see them,
Right.
So James Gunn definitely made it was an interesting choice on James Gunn's part to make them have these ulterior motives. So do you support it or no?
Well, I mean, it's a choice. It was a surprising choice. It really surprised me the first time I saw the movie. I wish that plot line had been a little more developed through the movie, because it seems, it's introduced. I mean, it's set up well, and then they introduce that twist about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes in. And that turns the public against Superman. There's that shot in the trailer where he's like going through a crowd of people, and the guy like throws a can of something at Superman's head, and it just bounces off his head. But then at the end, it's resolved like very tidily, and I'm like, I kind of wish we had done more with that,
No, I see what you mean. I'm assuming, yeah, I guess because at the end, because Superman saved Metropolis, and it turned out that Lex, who's the one that exposed this huge secret, like after what people found out about him, public opinion turned on him, thinking,
Right.
oh, well, maybe he lied about what he said about the Kryptonians' parents or something like that. So,
well, I mean, that's the thing is like they make a big deal of no, this is for real, and Mr.
Right.
Terrific says like, oh, yeah, I knew some of the forensics people who worked on this. This is for real. This is real. It's not a fake. But then at the end, everybody just kind of decides they don't care. It just seems very simple,
Yeah, I think the fact that he did that he saved the city, maybe because of that in their eyes, they're like, all right, he's because
he can have a secret harem. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I guess they don't know if he's all that the secret harem stuff is true, but like I think the fact that they see him doing good makes them say like, all right, well, his parents told him to do this, but he's not doing what his parents told him to do, so maybe he's being his own man, and like he actually does care, and he's protecting.
Like, I mean, Pa Kent gives him a speech, and he's like, hey, that message doesn't make you who you are. What you do makes you who you are.
Great speech. I love that scene.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice scene with Ma and Pa Kent.
Yeah, I love Ma and Pa Kent in this because like they really look like Kansas farmers, like for real. Like every other Superman movie, Ma and Pa Kent kind of look Hollywood. But you see them here with the thick Southern accents and everything. It's like that's farm folk right there.
Yeah, I saw a video like James Gunn. He's like a fan of the Howard Stern show, and apparently there's somebody on who works for the Stern show. His parents are from Kansas.
Oh, Richard Christie, yes.
Yeah, and James Gunn apparently had that guy's parents read the dialogue for the Kents because he wanted the Kents to have authentic Kansas accents in the movie. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. That's a nice attention to detail there. I mean, it kind of, that threw me for a loop a little bit because they seemed a little more country bumpkin-y than a lot of other interpretations of the Kents. But they have good hearts, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The Krypton thing, it doesn't bug me in a big way because I mean it is a switch for most of the comics, but Superman's been around since 1938, so you could probably find examples of pretty much anything in the comics, even
Mm.
in a one-shot story or something where like Jor-El is evil or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
true.
and it's not like Krypton's really an ongoing concern in most Superman stories because it's because the place blows up.
Mm.
Spoiler.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it doesn't really affect the greater story that much. And in some versions of Superman, yeah, he is kind of rejecting Krypton's teachings, and he's going out and doing the right thing because of how he was brought up on Earth. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess I don't mind it in a big way. I,
Okay.
I just I just wish as a plot line it could have been a little more developed in this film.
Yeah, no, no, fair enough, fair enough. I know a lot of people, get all in their feelings about it because, like, they're like, "No,
Yeah.
Jor-El's a good guy. He wouldn't tell him to be that way. He's a good guy."
Something I found really interesting. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, The Weekly Planet, and they were talking about the Superman movie, and one of them said, and this was so insightful, I thought it was great. He said, "This is a movie about a guy who gets canceled, but then he's able to like come back from it with the help of his friends, and that's like obviously a thing that would appeal to James Gunn because James Gunn,
Mm.
like a number of years ago, there were some right wing people who tried to go after him and like oh, look at these objectionable tweets he made all these years ago. He should get fired, and he did get fired from Marvel for a hot minute.
He did.
And then DC ended up hiring him to direct the Suicide Squad movie, which ended up ultimately putting him in charge of DC Studios. So,
Yeah, and
um,
and then I
and
remember,
then he was rehired by Marvel.
yeah, because like a lot of the people from Guardians like were going to bat for him. It's like, no,
Yeah,
like I think there was that one letter where everybody signed it, where it's like Batista. I know Batista loves him, and like Chris
yeah,
Pratt and Saldana, they were all like
yeah.
rallying behind him.
Yeah, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want to do another Guardians movie without James Gunn." Um, so it is in a weird way the story of James Gunn. Like he kind of gets canceled over objectionable things that come up from his past, but because his friends have his back, he weathers the storm. And I was like, that's really neat.
Not bad.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's absolutely right.
I did not think of it that way. I did see.
Yeah.
I was trying to. I didn't read that context, but the only
Hmm.
context I got was the scene of the pocket dimension
Yeah.
where Luther shows Superman the robot angry monkeys typing away on
Yes.
social media about
Yeah.
like Superman
Yeah.
sucks hashtag super shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I see what you did there, James Gunn. I see that.
Yeah. That was cute. I mean, and now we have a meme ready for anyone who's acting like that online.
It's like, oh, these angry monkeys.
Let's see
Uh,
what else. I really enjoyed Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about the Justice Gang. I thought, yeah,
Yeah.
Fillion was great. I thought
Yeah.
he definitely stole some scenes.
Yeah. I
Is
mean,
it?
he's just such a wonderful jerk, and you can tell Fillion's having the time of his life playing a jerk.
Yeah, no, for sure. Isabella Merced as Hawker. I thought she was okay. I didn't feel like she wasn't given a ton to do,
Yeah, she didn't
but
have quite as much to do. And what's the name of the fellow playing Mr. Terrific?
uh, Edie or Eddie Gathegi?
He was terrific. I mean, the
he
middle.
was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was wonderful in the role. The middle of the movie, it almost feels like a Mr. Terrific movie guest starring Lois Lane. It's like Superman goes away for a bit, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
Mr. Terrific takes over, and then
yeah.
Superman comes back.
Yeah, no, he definitely steals the show. He definitely
Hmm.
steals the scene. Like I remember, like from what I've heard people say, and from like when I saw my wife, like after the movie, he was definitely one of the most memorable characters in it. That like
Uh huh.
a lot of people didn't know anything about going in, but
Yeah.
like after the movie was over, people were like, "Who's that Mister Terrific guy? I want to see him. I want to know more about him. He was awesome,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this
It's
is great."
yeah, and it's cool because he's been a prominent character in the DC comics universe for gosh, probably like 10, 15 years now. maybe even longer. He was co-created by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake,
Mm,
and he was like a modern day version of a golden age 1940s character called Mr. Terrific. And
nice.
his slogan was fair play. You might have noticed he's got fair play written on the sleeve of his jacket.
Right, right.
Um, and yeah, like his gimmick is basically he's the smartest man in the world or the third smartest man in the world, and he's good at everything. So he's
Yeah,
a what do you call that? A polyglot.
Gesundheit.
He's a genius. He's got these things called the T spheres that are like little weapons and trackers and stuff, and yeah, he's
Yeah.
got lots of neat gizmos and stuff, and
Yeah, dude is
yeah,
dope. I think a lot of
yeah,
people like from this movie. A lot of people are like, "Hey, who's this Mister?" Like, I think this movie definitely introduced him to a wider, larger audience. From like
oh
people are
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can absolutely see people dress up as Mister Terrific for Halloween this year, like for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. We're gonna see an uptick of Mister Terrifics at cons this summer, I'm sure.
A
Um,
lot of tea masks on faces coming up.
yeah, they did a nice job with that team because like that's one of those things that like sort of only works in comic art, but they figured out a good way to translate it into live action because it's like
Yeah, that
basically like pasted on his face, but you can still see his nose and his mouth and his eyes.
yeah, that's one of those things. Like it could look ridiculous in real life, but I think
Yeah,
they found a way to make it not look goofy or anything like that.
yeah. No, he just looks cool. And I really liked Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho. I wish Metamorpho was in it a little bit more. He's just in it for a few scenes, I would say.
Right. So
Um,
this is the scene where, like after uh, Lex and his crew, show the message, then Superman goes
mhm,
back to the Fortress of Solitude, finds out the whole thing's been ransacked, and he finds out that Lex took Crypto with him, the dog.
Crypto,
Which
yeah,
by the way, Crypto is what a lovable character. Love Crypto.
yeah. I mean, it's like James Gunn. He's talked about this a lot in the movie. Like he based Crypto in the movie based on his own dog Ozo
Mm.
or Uzo, who is apparently a very badly behaved dog.
Yeah, I think he said the dog
And
destroyed like one of his laptops or something.
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, oh no.
And just one of those dogs that has too much energy for its own good. And like in the opening scene, like Superman's injured and he's lying in a crater in the Fortress of Solitude. He whistles for Crypto. Crypto comes running, and Crypto thinks he wants to play, and he's just like jumping on.
Yeah, just jumping on him. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
oh, stop.
yeah, and he's not really well trained, and
Yeah, we learn why at the end of the movie.
yes,
I
yes,
like that too. But yeah, but I also like another scene between Lois and Superman that I like is where they have that that interdimensional imp in the background that the Justice Gang is fighting and Superman's not fighting because like no, they got it. And
yeah. That's really a scene that shows just how funky and different like the DC universe is because like I think somebody
mm,
said like most other Superman movies they kind of bring Superman into our world. This movie is just kind of like it puts us into a comic book world where it's just
yeah,
weird shit like this just happens and people
yeah,
aren't really freaked out by it anymore. Yeah,
yeah, no,
he's just like yeah they're just fighting this other dimensional imp. They got it. And it's just this weird thing that's happening in the background just to make the scene a little more visually
yeah,
interesting.
it is beautiful though. It
Yeah.
is kind of pretty in a weird way. But I
Yeah.
do like how like again him and Lois are having this conversation, like how he's bummed out about his parents. Talking about like what it means to be punk rock because
Mm-hmm.
Lois says she was a punk rock girl, grew up in Baker Line, nice little
Mm-hmm.
town drop there. And then Superman says, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna, the authorities are looking for me, so I'm going to turn myself in. Maybe that'll help me find the dog." And
Mm-hmm.
then Lois is like, "No, don't do that. It's just a dog." And then
Mm-hmm.
Superman's like, "Yeah, I know. He's just a dog. He's not even a good one, but he's
Yeah.
alone and he's scared. So I gotta
Yeah.
go like that." God damn it! That's Superman right there.
Yeah. She says, I question everything and everyone. You trust everyone. And he goes, maybe that's the real punk rock.
That is
Um,
that's so damn beautiful. Like, mm,
yeah. It's
yeah,
just, because they kind of capture that Superman is, very sincere and very good and very kind.
yeah.
And,
He
and
saves a squirrel. Come on.
yeah, at one point when they're fighting this giant kaiju, and it's basically like Superman versus Godzilla because it's this giant fire breathing lizard thing. Um,
Yeah,
And yeah, and he actually like he blows away a little dog with a super breath to get it out from under the kaiju's paw, and then at one point he flies and gets a squirrel,
Yeah,
and yeah,
beautiful. And
uh,
and he didn't even want to kill the kaiju. He wants to like, yeah, put it
right,
down and like, try to maybe put it in the zoo or something, like
hmm,
intergalactic zoo. And like, and the fact that
yeah,
this Justice Gang come to and actually kill it, is that
hmm.
it bums him out. And it's like,
Yeah, like Mr. Terrific actually like gets basically puts some bombs in its stomach, and that kills it. And Superman's like, yeah, I wish we could have captured it alive, or at least put it to sleep less painfully. And
yeah, it's like, come on, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and Mr. Terrific's just like, come on, yeah, he's just being very pragmatic about it.
Yeah. And also, I did get a kick out of this, seeing, like, if you look at the street signs in Metropolis, a lot of
Hmm.
them are named after comic book creators and people that have worked on
Yep.
Superman throughout the years. So
Hmm.
you see Moore Avenue after Alan Moore,
Hmm.
East Jurgens Street after Dan Jurgens, Ross Avenue
Yes.
after Alex Ross, Morrison Avenue, Grant Morrison, Lee
Hmm.
Drive after Jim Lee, Wade Street after Mark Wade, and Loeb Drive after Jeff Loeb.
Oh, look at you! Look at
Yeah,
you!
I did my homework. I did my
Yeah, you
homework.
did.
I did it. I did
You
it.
did.
And of course, yeah, and of course, the Gen X nerd in me got a kick out of seeing Michael Ian Black in his film as a news pundit. Uh,
Yeah, he's the host of a new show called The Sphere. And he's an original character in the movie. I don't remember his character name, but somebody
he
on Blue Sky asked him. They were like, "Oh, I thought you might have been playing Glorious Godfrey," and Michael Ian Black was like, "I have no idea who Glorious Godfrey is."
now, according to what I found, his name is Clevis Thornweight.
Ooh,
What
what a name!
I know, like I mean, he's obviously it's like a Tucker Carlson, Bill O'Reilly type of.
Yeah, you said I was more or less playing Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. Good for the guy from the state.
Yeah, yeah. So we got Superman's captured at one point. Like Luthor throws him into this pocket dimension. He has a thing where he play like Luthor kills a guy in front of him. He takes this guy who's
That
like
was
this street
wild.
vendor guy, Malik Ali, who sort of knows Superman because Superman saved him in the past, and he like
Yeah,
helps Superman out when he's during the Kaiju battle.
and he give him like a free. He's like giving him free falafel on and off
Yeah,
throughout. So
yeah,
like, yeah, but still, like for yeah, and like yeah, like when he what you call it, like when I think they also call him Molly in the movie too because his name is Malik Ali, and he helps him
yeah.
up. And during when he helps him up, that's when Lex does the face recognition of him
Mm-hmm.
with one of his flying drone spheres, and then
Mm-hmm.
get his information, which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and Luther pulls him in, and he's asking Superman questions like he's like, where were you brought up? Where did your rocket land when you were a baby? And Superman's not giving up any of the information. And he's incapacitated right now because he has Metamorpho, who can change his body into any element. He has Metamorpho change his hand into kryptonite, so Superman's like
Mm.
kind of immobilized and weakened in this cell. And Metamorpho's a good guy, but Luthor is able to do this because he's kidnapped Metamorpho's son Joey, and he's
Mm.
holding him prisoner. Um, and yeah, he gets like two questions in, and then he like blows this guy's head off right in front of Superman. It's
Jesus,
really a
yeah,
harrowing scene.
it really is. Like, see, like the first time I saw this, I think it took me a while to kind of wrap my mind around the concept of a pocket universe and
Hmm.
all this other stuff that like black hole vortexes, and
Yeah,
it's like it took me a minute to like kind of wrap my mind around this. And there was like a anti-proton stream or something like that.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what's happening now?
yeah. They hit you with a lot. They hit with you with a lot. Like so, like basically. They explain that they have like some sort of technical babble information, but yeah, it's basically like this other dimension that's like kind of tucked away, and Luther has stored all these people who are either in his way or have pissed him off. He's got an ex girlfriend in there. He's
Woof.
got people who've spoken out against him online. It's his little, it's his little Guantanamo Bay, Alligator, Alcatraz place.
Oh,
You know,
good boy. It
because
gets
evil
it's heavy.
billionaires like spiriting people away.
Oh,
Yeah,
super. You can't see it, but right now I'm holding up a man-made flag with the Superman logo on top.
yeah,
Just Superman.
yeah, yeah. I wish the Pocket Universe looked a little more interesting than just a dark void, because it's just like those scenes are very like physically dark,
Yeah,
and you just can't see what's going on on screen very well because there's no contrast.
yeah, no, I agree
Um,
with you there. It was a little hard to make out everything, and I guess just the idea of the concept of the Pocket
yeah,
Universe was a little bit much for me to wrap my mind around.
but something I really liked was that Lois Lane is a real, she's a real motivated, she's a real go-getter in this. She actually like takes the initiative, and she's like, I'm going to go rescue Superman, and she gets together with Mr. Terrific.
Right.
and
Because like she
and
meets up, she tries to get the rest of the Justice Gang at
mhm.
the Hall of Justice, which we see in this movie.
Yeah, they
Uh,
use the Cleveland Union Station.
I think it's
uh,
Cincinnati, but
Cincinnati. Okay, yeah, that's right. It was in Ohio. um, and
so it looks
yeah,
great.
yeah, because it's the building that they kind of based the Hall of Justice on the Super Friends cartoon. So
Mm.
they just shot there for real. Um, and they shot inside it too, and they changed like the murals inside, which I think were like the history of Ohio or the history of Cincinnati,
Right,
and
yeah.
they changed it to so it's like the history of metahumans in the DC universe. You can't see them real well, but apparently there are a lot of Easter eggs on there. So
Yeah, for sure. So like next time when it comes out on DVD or streaming, just you'll be able to
mhm.
pause it and like
Yeah,
get real nerdy with it.
there's Vi breakdancing. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
And also we should talk about how Lois is on the case with this because she has
yeah.
help from Jimmy Olsen, because Jimmy has a contact with that knows where Superman is,
Right.
and that contact turns out to be Eve Texmacher, aka Mutant Toes, because in this movie, Jimmy Olsen's he's a bit of a ladies' man. The ladies enjoy him; they like
Jimmy
him.
Olsen's sex machine. Yeah. I
Oof.
mean, Eve Tessmacher is like all over him. She's like, if I give you this information, you have to spend the whole weekend with me. And he's like, oh, really?
The
Okay.
whole weekend? Come on,
Okay.
girl. Come on, man.
I really liked Skylar Gazando as Jimmy Olsen. He was so much fun.
Another fantastic casting. I thought he was
Yeah.
great as him.
I mean, he has a great look. He's not too nerdy, but he's actually kind of cool. But he's like nerd cool, and
Yes,
the thing with him and Miss Tessmacher was just kind of wild.
it really was. I was like, wow, all right. He
Yeah.
has Riz, as the kids say.
Yes, yes. And he discovers, like, she at one point, Miss Tessmacher sends, you see her taking selfies with her phone throughout the movie, and she sends all these to Jimmy in a bundle. And then when he looks at them, he realizes in the background of all these selfies are like documents and maps and things like that. And it gives away Luther's plans. So they can
Right.
kind of figure it out from what she sent.
Right. So basically, I mean, we learned it throughout the movie, but we learned the plans are basically the president of Boravia and Lex are in cahoots, and then we learned
Right,
that Lex has actually been selling the president of Boravia all these weapons so they can
right,
go to war with Johnpor, but he's been selling them. He's been selling it to them for cheap. And then
right.
we learned the reason is because, like, once Boravia takes over Johnpor, he's going to get a chunk of land for himself. So Johnpor will be divided into New Boravia and what he wants to call Luthoria. So
It
it's
all comes back to land.
all comes back.
They all in the movies. They always love making Lex Luthor doing land
Yeah,
deals.
he's like a real estate agent. He's just constantly.
Superman 1, he wants half of California. Superman 2, he wants Australia. Superman Returns, he grows this island that's made of kryptonite, and this one he wants half of the country. It's just
It's all
they,
about.
they love they love making him a real estate mogul.
He's all about land, baby.
Yeah,
That's where the money is, kid.
but they'll always need land. And they'll pay through the nose to get it. Remember, my father said. Land.
Land.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
So then we go to the scene where Lois and Mr. Terrific go to save Superman because apparently Mr. Terrific put a tracking device in his bloodstream,
yeah,
which
he put nanobots,
no,
and
but
they're like, "You did that to Superman?" He's like, "I do that to everybody."
and the other Justice League guys are like, "What the fuck? How's he
They
do
kind of
that?"
look askance, like,
Oh
"Yeah,
no. Yeah, and then we get what I think is the most James Gunny scene in this whole movie, where Mr.
yeah."
Terrific takes out all of the guards and personnel at the Planet Watch
At the
compound.
camp, yeah,
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 yeah. It. I
yeah.
mean,
The
it.
song is "5 Years Time" by Noah and the Whale. It's very much like that scene in Guardians 3
Mm,
where they're I think it was to the Beastie Boys song "No Sleep Till Brooklyn,"
hell yeah.
where everybody's just kicking ass and taking names, and it's he like puts Lois in a force field to protect her, and then we see just Mister Terrific kind of bouncing around and taking everybody out, and it's a really cool scene. It's
Yeah,
like I said, it becomes a Mister Terrific movie halfway through.
it really does. Yeah, we really like out of all the, I guess the characters that are introduced to us in this movie, Miss Terrific.
Yeah,
I think it's like a good chunk of
yeah,
screen time and a good, and we understand him more and we're like intrigued by him more than everybody else,
yeah.
I'd
I would
say.
not be surprised if he ends up getting like a TV series on.
HBO Max or something.
Yeah, whatever streaming service DC is using now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that happening. He could very well get like a
yeah.
Peacemaker style HBO Max show. Oh, by the way, Peacemaker makes a cameo in this film too.
He does. We see John Cena as Peacemaker appearing on Michael Ian Black's show, The Sphere, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Oh yeah, I always knew Superman was up to no good." Because an amusing thing they've done with Peacemaker is he believes every conspiracy theory about superheroes that he hears. He's like,
Yeah.
"Aquaman fucks fish," and
Yes. He's like a Reddit thread.
yeah, he really is. He really is. That was cute. It was neat to see him. I wasn't real surprised, but just because he and John Cena and James Gunn are buds,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
um,
What
but
else?
yeah, that's a stand up scene. We get and we find out that the pocket dimension. Because it's like unstable, and Luther's like, if you're like one picometer off with this stuff, you risk tearing a hole in the fabric of reality. Um,
Yeah, so like his nanobite or his spheres, not circles.
mhm.
They're
No,
trying to they try to hack into the portal, and like they're also trying to find out where Superman and where Superman is, and
hmm
then we also see from their point where Superman and Rex or
hmm
Metamorpho,
Rex Mason, yeah,
Rex Mason,
Metamorpho.
they team up. He's able to save the baby, and
Yeah, he,
the
he he gets Metamorpho to turn. He
yeah,
appeals to Metamorpho's back. I mean,
yeah.
after Metamorpho sees that poor street vendor killed in front of him, he's just like, "Oh, this is no good. I can't do this."
Am I the bad
And
guy?
yeah, and Superman, promises, of course, to save his baby boy Joey, and
Joey.
and so Metamorpho stops generating kryptonite. He's able to simulate the power of a yellow sun to give Superman his a boost of power,
Mhm.
and they break out and they get out of there. They escape from a black hole.
Yeah, there's an anti-proton river, like I said, that leads to a black
Mhm.
hole, and they're able to save Crypto in this pretty harrowing escape. I mean, I like
Yeah,
this scene, but like I think I agree with you where because it's just so dark and it's like
yeah.
so much CGI, it was kind of
It's a
little,
little tough to see and
yeah.
follow, and yeah, and
But
yeah.
yeah, it is. But it was still exciting, but yeah, it was a little tough to follow. But like they were able to break out. Mr. Terrific stays behind just to make
hmm
sure everything's closed down properly, and
Right.
he tells Lois to, yeah, take my ship
Take
and
the T craft.
the T
Yeah.
craft,
Yeah.
and get out of here with Soups. He needs because of the kryptonite poisoning. He needs like a day or two to heal up.
Right.
So Metamorpho and his son they take off, and
hmm
then that's where we see Lois fly the T craft with Superman
hmm
and Crypto back to Kansas.
They go back
So
to Smallville. They go back
mhm.
to the Kent farm, and yeah, we see his boyhood home. He's like healing up in his old bedroom, and Lois meets the Kents for the first time.
Mhm.
Pa Kent gives him a nice pep talk,
Yeah,
and And
Yeah.
then,
I really like that. I really did like that talk between them. It was really
mhm,
pretty sweet. And then that's where we also see that on the news that Boravia is about to invade Jarhampur, and like
mhm,
now that everybody believes Superman is out of the picture, there's nothing stopping them.
right.
So like
So Superman's like, oh, I got to get there. And then Mr. Terrific calls him and says, no, actually, we need you here in Metropolis because the dimensional rift has come to Metropolis. It's like literally splitting the ground open.
yeah, because this rift that happens now, that was because of
Hmm.
Lex. Because after he found out that Superman escaped, he's like, he goes into a rage. He throws
Hmm.
he throws a mug full of pencils onto the floor and tells
Hmm.
his underlings to pick that up. And
Hmm.
then there's this one scene, which I mean, I know he's a villain, but like this, I
Yeah.
don't know why this scene bothered me so much. Where I was like, where he screamed at Eve to get the hell out of here, and then
Uh-huh.
he throws a pencil at her. Uh,
Oh,
you know, like, and I don't know why, but I was like, oh wow,
I
this,
don't think it struck me the same way it
I,
did you.
yeah, like
I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
throw pencils at people all the time. So,
Wow,
yeah.
wow, this is it's all right.
That's why we don't record in the same studio anymore.
I said
Uh,
never again.
yeah.
No more
Darren's
number.
like, you will never get a chance to throw a pencil at me again, sir.
But yeah,
Good day.
good day. And I ducked that number two.
Yeah.
But yeah, just because like that seems like maybe a little bit more realistic, where a guy would just be
Hmm.
such a dick, he would throw a pencil at his girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, what an abusive piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's when Eve sends the pictures to Jimmy.
Right.
Ultraman overhears it, and then Ultraman grabs Eve, and they store her in the pocket dimension as well.
Right. Right.
And
And yeah, and Mr. Terrific also has to figure out how to get all the other people out of the pocket dimension because Superman was just able to get him, Metamorpho, Joey, and Crypto out.
right,
So there are still the other people in there.
uh,
So we got like a double jeopardy situation where Superman is needed in two places at once.
right, yeah. The rift goes through Metropolis. The
Mm-hmm.
city has to evacuate. We see
Mm-hmm.
them. Everybody's taking their pets onto the cars and buses on
Mm-hmm.
streets out to the city. We see a sign for Gotham City this way.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Woo!
Yeah.
Queensland Park as well.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and that's at this point, Lois and Jimmy have kind of breaking down everything that Lex is up to. We see, and they tell Perry that I kind of wish we would have seen more Perry White in this. I will say that with Wendell
Mm-hmm.
Pierce. We
Mm-hmm.
don't. He's in it, but he's not in
Yeah,
it
we
that
got
much.
what's his name from The Wire playing
Yeah,
him.
Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce, yeah.
He's good, but
Yeah, he is good. We get to hear him say "Don't call me Chief" in the background at one
mhm.
point to
Yeah,
Jimmy Olsen.
yeah, and yeah.
I mean, he was very good in what we saw him. We don't see a whole lot of Daily Planet stuff, and actually, we barely mentioned Beck Bennett.
Oh right, yes. This
We
the whole
see
reason we're doing this.
we see Beck Bennett early on when like Clark Kent is coming into the planet, and he's like criticizing Clark's writing. He's like, you can use adverbs, right?
Yeah,
and I like that Steve Lombard is like doesn't think that Clark is a good writer. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's a cool way to make fun of him.
yeah. Just a lot of teasing, and then that's when his mom.
Yeah.
That's when Clark's mom calls him, and
Mhm.
it's like, "Oh, mom, told your mom I said they eat chitlins over there in Kansas." Just
Yeah.
yeah, just being a dick.
So like, yeah, Lois is back at the planet, and Perry's at one point. He's like, "Hey, do you still have that spaceship thing? Okay, we're gonna get out of here. You, me, Jimmy, Cat Grant,
Uh,
Ron Troop,
mhm.
who's another reporter from the Daily Planet.
He got no lines in this thing.
I think you hear him say like one word. I'm just like, okay, wow. Let's not give Ron Troop any dialogue. Then he's like, how many seats does that thing have? And Lois is like, I think 6. And he's like, okay, Steve Lombard, you come too. And so they all pile onto the T craft, and Beck Bennett is like, hey, there's not a seat for me. I don't have a seatbelt or anything. So we have him just kind of rolling around on the thing. It's a cute bit. Beck Bennett makes the most of what he has there.
Yeah, I would say so for sure.
Yeah.
So then we see Superman going to Metropolis trying to help. That's when
Mm-hmm.
the Engineer and Ultraman attack him.
Yeah.
Then we get that's where we get that cool baseball field fight at Lower Tech
And
Field.
while Lois is like flying everybody else out in the T sphere, she's dictating an article to Jimmy to upload to the Daily Planet servers. it's just so fucking badass.
Pretty, yeah. I've heard a lot of people say, a lot of people talking. A lot of people say, like, yeah, this might be the best representation of Lois we've gotten. Maybe not, definitely.
I mean, it's up there. I love that she doesn't need rescuing at any point in the film. I don't think Superman has to save her life once. She basically saves Superman at some point and saves some other people too. And so yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, as soon as I heard it was Rachel Brosnahan playing her, I was like, oh yeah, that'll be great. That'll be cool.
Yeah, she's good. Sure enough, she fucking knocks it out the park. Speaking of knocking out the park, the baseball field fight. Hey,
yeah, look at that.
That's when we see the engineer like attaching all of her nanites to Superman's face, trying to suffocate him and get into his lungs, which is
as you do. Yeah,
it was disturbing as hell.
Yeah, it's something. Something.
Like they were covering his eyes and his entire face.
Yeah,
and like he was able to get it off by flying all the way up in the air with the Ultraman and the engineer attached to him, and then just going straight back down where he would be protected, but the other two wouldn't. And then,
we find out during the fight, like Ultraman is unmasked, and we find out, dun dun dun, he's actually a clone of Superman.
Gasp!
Yeah, Luthor was able to get his hands on some of Superman's DNA, and that's how he was able to gain entry into the Fortress of Solitude, because it's like key to his DNA. And yeah, so it's, he unmasks, he's like been masked the whole film, and unmasked, and it's like David Cornsweet with like really unruly hair.
Yeah, and like a lot of people are saying, oh, is this Ultraman, could this possibly be Bizarro in the future? It seems like the way they ended it could be either or, Ultraman or Bizarro.
But while Superman is dealing with all this stuff in Metropolis, the Justice Gang goes to Baravia to fend off the invasion there.
Yeah, and there was this one scene, I don't know why it bugged me, but like they show all the other Justice Gangs what they were doing when they see this going down on the news. We see Hawk Girl, and just after she just washed her hair in her apartment. And then we see Guy Gardner in a diner eating a bowl of cereal and a glass of milk. Right. And I was like, that's too much milk, man. Why? Just have an orange.
You mean
juice?
Like the milk in the cereal and the milk in the glass?
Yeah, that's like a glass of milk with a bowl of cereal with milk in it. Isn't that too much milk?
It's a lot of milk. I'm not going to say it's not a lot of milk. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go so far as to say it's too much milk. What is too much milk?
I'm going to say it's too much milk. That's weird. Stop it.
Milk is very healthy, especially for superheroes.
I'm told this does a body good.
It does. Remember when we had those little milk mustache ads everywhere?
Oh, God. Simpler times.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's Guy Gardner, so I was like, I guess we should just be glad it's not a beer.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
I did like how when Guy Gardner shows up, he's making like giant ring constructs that are like giant hands, but they're all giving the finger.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I was like, that's such a Guy Gardner thing. Because like Guy Gardner was always like the jerk Green Lantern. Which what made him fun.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not familiar with him, but I know his reputation precedes him. Like, everybody knows he's kind of the dick of the...
Well, one of the books that James Gunn has talked about and that he obviously grew up being a fan of was the Justice League International, which was a more humorous version of the Justice League. They had a lot of banter and stuff. And Guy Gardner was the Green Lantern in that, and he was a jerk, and he just made things more difficult for everybody, basically. And there's a very famous sequence where for the first 5 or 6 issues, Guy Gardner is like giving Batman, who's the leader, all sorts of guff and grief, and saying like, I should be running this group, and blah 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 blah. And he's finally like you and me, Bats, we're gonna have it out. And Batman's just kind of goading him. And
oh wow.
And Guy Gardner like takes his ring off, and he's like, okay, you and me, mano a mano, we're gonna do it. And then the next panel is just Guy Gardner just getting punched in the face.
Nice.
And then it's just Guy Gardner out cold, and in the background the Blue Beetle is just going, one punch, and he's just losing it. And then like right after this, Martian Manhunter and Black Canary both arrive for the meeting, and Martian Manhunter's like, hello everyone, is that guy on the floor? and Black Canary has the best reaction. She goes, Batman belted him and I missed it. Oh God, I'm depressed.
God.
So it's a very funny and very famous sequence, and I'm sure at some point we are going to see that in live action, some
Oh,
variation of that of the
oh,
One Punch.
oh! I can't wait. I'm chomping at the bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be, because Nathan Fillion, he plays a great jerk. He was really good as Guy Gardner.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
sure. He was pretty
I look
fantastic.
forward to seeing more. I know he's going to be in the Lantern series.
Yes.
I think he said that in the Lantern series about the Green Lanterns, he swears more in his first scene in that than he's sworn in his entire career up until that point. So that's fun.
Fantastic.
Guy Gardner dropping f bombs. What
Uh,
more do you want?
who could ask for anything more?
um, and
Uh,
and 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 James Gunn has also cast his brother Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord, and we see
yes.
him very briefly at the end of the film. He's like, I think the one thing Republicans and Democrats can agree on is that Lex Luthor sucks. Am I right?
Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, this is at the that was towards the end, like where
Mm-hmm.
we see Ultraman and Superman are fighting, and
Right.
there's also something else that happened here. I think we mentioned where
Yeah.
because Lex has been so obsessed with Superman, like he's been studying his every move for
Right.
years. Like he's able to have all of his like Superman's combat moves in this computer. So like
Right.
he'll tell Ultraman who he controls, like 5B, 223, or one
Yeah.
A.
He's like calling the plays. He's
Yeah,
like, yeah. So each code is like a move, and he's got his people like programming them in. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So like that's when we get the whole thing where it looks like Superman's being beat, and Superman. Calls out Lex for being just jealous of him, and then Lex
mhm.
gives this really great speech about, yeah, I know, I'm jealous, like my, I'm super jealous of you, but like I feel like my envy is my calling, because like
Mhm.
what you just being here just shows how weak we all are, and like so in a
Mhm.
way he takes pride that he's so jealous of him,
Yeah.
and like it's a really good speech. Again, like I thought Nicholas Hoult really knocked it out the park in this film.
Nicholas Hoult was really good. I mean, he's really evil. He's really fearsome. He's got he's got a nice charisma to him. He looks good bald.
Mm,
Um, not everybody does.
no.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. So like we Crypto is able to take out the drones that are monitoring Ultraman. They can't really control Ultraman without the drones.
Right.
Uh,
And that's when Superman kicks ass.
yeah, Superman kicks butt. Like Crypto finally follows commands.
Yes.
Um,
Finally.
Crypto gets to beat up Luthor a bit at the
Oh,
end.
right. At the very end. Because at the
Yeah.
very end, after Superman actually ends up sending Ultraman into like a black hole vortex,
Hmm.
which I guess is like a nod that, oh, yeah, maybe he'll come back as Ultraman or Bizarro.
Yeah.
Um, they go to Lex Luthor Corp, not
Yeah.
LexCorp, Luthor Corp,
Luthor
to,
Corp.
to
Yeah.
get Luthor to stop the rift, because Luther can stop the rift whenever he wants to. He just chooses not to punish
Right.
everybody that chose Superman over him.
Because he's evil.
What a piece of shit. And I kind of like that too, because it's like a movie where the villain isn't this misunderstood, like
Hmm.
like you really don't have very much
He
empathy for him.
really is just an unrepentant piece of shit. Yeah.
Yes. He's total garbage.
He is total garbage. And it's just fun to see an evil billionaire just get what's coming to him.
Ha
I don't
ha!
know why. I don't know why that speaks to me right now.
I don't know why, but I agree.
Yeah, a
Uh,
powerful person who's genuinely good, and an evil garbage person who's a billionaire who gets exposed for the piece of shit he is, and actually suffers consequences for his actions. I don't know why this is an appealing fantasy to me right now.
oh God. What a
Uh,
concept.
yeah, I know. What do these nutty comic books think of next?
People facing consequences for their actions. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, Luther. I mean, we have this whole exchange with Luther and Superman. Superman's like, yeah, I don't know what to do every day, but I still get up every day and I try my best and da 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 da. And it's a nice speech from Superman, and Luther says like some incriminating stuff that I think is broadcast. And so everybody's like, "Oh shit, Luther's a piece of crap."
Oh yeah, no, at this point, after like Luther is about to
Hmm.
retort,
Hmm.
that's when, like, mid sentence, that's when he gets attacked by Crypto and thrown around, very much
Right.
like in the vein of Hulk smashing around Loki at the end of
Yeah, yeah, the
Avengers.
puny god. Yeah.
Yes, and it was funny. And then that's when Mr. Terrific is able to stop the riff and fix everything. And then that's when
Right.
the story that Lois and Jimmy collaborated on goes out over the airwaves, and then
Right.
everybody sees
There
it.
are a lot of moving parts in this
There
movie.
are
You know,
a little,
it can be a
yeah,
lot to like keep track of, especially if you're like watching it and you're trying to take notes at the same time, as
yeah,
we both were in our.
yeah. I think that's why, like, that's why I probably had to watch it two times, because like the first time was a
Yeah.
little overwhelming, but then after I saw it the second time, I was like, oh, okay, all right, now I get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so like now, Lex is exposed for the piece of garbage he is.
Right.
Um, he gets taken to Belle Reve, which of course is the prison that the Suicide Squad was in. Or
Right. Like they just take him right there. I'm just like, wait, why is he just going there? There's no like trial or anything. He
nope,
just goes straight to prison. I
nope.
was like, okay, okay. Same thing happens at the end of Superman in '78, where it's just like Superman just like flies him straight to prison. I guess the implication is he already escaped prison or something. I don't know.
Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect
It's a
$200.
comic book movie. We're simplifying things. That's
Yep,
fine.
exactly. So yeah, so then everything works out. Eve Tessmacher gives Jimmy a big old hug, wraps her
Yeah.
legs around that little freckled man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah.
She wants to get Olsen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
jeez.
there's a nice moment at the end where Lois and Superman kind of reunite on the street, and she's like, "Hey, could I interview you?" And he's like, "Yeah, you could interview me." And she's like, "Let's go into this building over here, and I'll interview you." And then they're inside alone, and she just like gives him the biggest old kiss,
And then the two of them.
and the two of them start floating up in the air. It's a nice romantic moment.
Yeah, that building looked. I looked it up. That building is gorgeous. Apparently, it's the very first indoor mall in all of America.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
and
wow.
that was another thing that shot in Ohio. I think that was possibly in Cleveland.
Yes, it's the Cleveland Arcade.
Yeah, yeah, which is kind of cool because Superman's creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, they lived in Cleveland.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Cleveland plays a big part in this movie. Like,
yeah,
I kind of want to go to Cleveland and check it out.
yeah. There's it would be neat to see Cleveland. It would be neat to like visit the Cincinnati Union Station that
Mm.
was the model of the Hall of Justice. It'd be I know in Metropolis, Illinois, they actually built a Superman museum,
Ooh,
which I've never been to, but it would be neat to take a road trip out there someday
road
and see
trip.
that.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that
neat.
would be fun. I have no idea how far that is from us here
Uh
in the northern
mm.
northern eastern United States.
It might take
Where
a
are we?
while.
We're in New Jersey, right?
We're
Yeah,
in
that's it.
It's the first thing we say before in every
Oh,
episode.
I've stopped listening to that long ago.
Son of a
Aaron.
bitch.
Even when I say it, I'm not listening to
Oh, have I been talking to AI this whole time?
it. You have.
Mother.
I'm sorry you had to learn this way.
Son of a beast.
I'm actually the Ultraman clone of,
Oh.
of John Trumbull.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, but it's like and then Perry White has a nice moment where he like says to Jimmy Olsen, he's like, "So how long has that been going on?" Because like he knows that Superman and Lois are a thing,
Mhm.
and Jimmy's like, I think about 3 months.
Right. So but like part of me is thinking, all right, so they know Superman and Lois are a thing, but they still don't know Superman is Clark Kent, right? So they just think
I think so. I think that is the implication. We actually don't get a lot of Clark Kent in this movie.
not a lot.
We really just see like one scene of him at the Daily Planet as as like traditional glasses, like kind of
Yes.
wimpy Clark Kent, nerdy
The,
Clark Kent.
the hypno glasses.
Yeah, the hypno glasses, which oh god. Okay, there's kind of an infamous comic book story that was written that was attempted to quote unquote explain the glasses, like why the glasses fool anybody, and it was like Superman has this power of super hypnotism, and the glass in the glasses at that point in the continuity came from it was glass from his rocket ship, so it was like Kryptonian glass, and
Okay.
that like enhanced his natural super hypnosis, and so it made people read Clark Kent as what he wanted them to think, like sort of older, frailer, wimpier. And at one point, he's looking at a sketch that a sketch artist made of Clark Kent, and it's like he looks like this. He looks a little older, frailer, hair thinning, and he's like, "But why do people think I look like this?" And everyone's like, "What are you talking about, Clark? That's you to a T." So he was like doing this unconsciously, and this was an idea that a fan sent in, and a writer that I was friendly with by the name of Marty Pasco wrote this issue, and he thought it was a stupid idea. He didn't want to write this issue, but the editor asked him to, or assigned it to him. So, he would say like years later, he was like, that fucking glasses story. So I think Marty, who has unfortunately passed away, he must be rolling in his grave that this has somehow made it into a Superman movie.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Is this, do you think it's good?
It was cute as a little in joke. They just say the hypno glasses. They didn't make a big meal of it. I think, like, either you buy into the glasses or you don't. I think it's one of those things. It's like, let's not overthink it,
okay.
and like I grew up with Christopher Reeve, so it's like he was such a great actor that he made me believe that the glasses could fool somebody. Because his mannerisms were so different. He parted his hair differently. He pitched his voice up an octave. It was as convincing as it could be with anybody.
All right, fair enough.
And like, you've probably seen that meme with Zoe Deschanel where it's like, she doesn't have bangs and she's not wearing glasses and she looks completely different.
Yes, I did. I was like, oh yeah, wow, she does look totally different.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can do it, and there is a thing that, like, Mark Waid, who you mentioned before, he did a Superman miniseries called Superman Birthright.
Ooh, yes, I know that was based. The movie based a lot of on that.
Yeah, the movie took some inspiration from Superman Birthright and another comic that was written by Grant Morrison and illustrated by Frank Quitely called All Star Superman.
Yes.
And Mark Waid had a neat notion in there where it was like Superman's eyes were like these brilliant blue eyes that were just like these really intense, striking blue eyes, and the glasses kind of dulled down the color.
Okay.
And I kind of like that idea. I think that's like a simpler idea. I don't know if I really buy the hypno glasses thing. I just don't think it's really necessary. And that's a story. It was published in like the late 70s. It hasn't really been referred to since, because I think most everybody was like, yeah, okay, well, that's a thing we did, but
let's move on.
Let's not make a meal of it. It's like I said, Superman's been around since 1938. Most everything has been done at some point or another. There have been good Superman stories, there have been bad Superman stories, and
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So
yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's why Zack Snyder thinks that Superman's killed General Zod a lot in the comics. He hasn't.
Yeah. Wow.
But
yeah, that General Zod death. I'm not a big Superman fan, but like that.
Yeah.
That scene was like, that doesn't feel like something.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, it's like if you have a story where Superman's like backed into a corner and forced to kill, I think by definition that's not a very good Superman story.
Agreed.
Because Superman, he's about finding the third way.
Yeah. I think I remember hearing in a lot of YouTube videos and stuff, like Superman always when he fights, he's fighting like defensively, not offensively. Mm-hmm. Like
exactly. I mean, because he's so strong. Yeah, it would be irresponsible for him to do anything else.
Very true. So and that's kind of the movie. Then we go back to the Fortress of Solitude, where Superman is healing up after his big fight. It seems like everything worked out in the end, and then we find out why Krypto is such an unruly dog, and why Krypto and Superman don't really bond. Because surprise, surprise, Krypto ain't Superman's dog. Krypto belonged to Supergirl.
It's more of a foster situation. He says it earlier in the movie.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
You have a dog, and he's like, it's more of a foster situation.
Yeah. But he like they say it so quickly you don't have time to think about it. You're just like, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
I guess it's like a joke. But you're like, oh no. Then we see Millie Alcock, who's playing Supergirl, come back
right.
all stumbly drunky, be like, hey,
Yeah.
where's my dog? And then we see, oh, it's her dog. That's why the dog
Hmm.
is such a maniac.
And yeah, and she's not terribly well behaved herself. Now, I know Supergirl is getting a movie next year.
Yep, it's already shot.
Yeah, and they released like a teaser poster for it, like I think the week after this movie hit. And
Yes, yeah. There, it's. I think it's shot. It's probably still in the. They're still putting it together and
post production,
post
yeah,
production. But yeah, it's all done. It'll come out June of next year. Jason
right.
Momoa is going to be in it as Lobo.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think they David Krumholtz is going to play Supergirl's father. I forget who's
Zor-El, yeah.
Zor-El. I forget who's going to play the mother. But yeah, and I think it's directed
Just
by
just David Krumholtz in a wig.
yes, Krumholtz. Put on this wig and action
Mm. Should I shave my beard? No, 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 no. We don't have time for that. Just wear the wig.
and go. And I think it's directed by Craig Gillespie, who did the I, Tonya movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't know much about the Supergirl movie. I know it's at least partially based on a recent comic series called Superman Woman of Tomorrow, which I think Tom King was the writer on. And I haven't read that yet. I need to read that because it's apparently a pretty different characterization of Supergirl, because apparently, like, they say, like, oh yeah, she journeys to this other world with a red sun because then she can get drunk. And I'm like, okay,
right,
that sounds like no Supergirl I've ever read about before. But hey, whatever. You can give her a new characterization. That's fine.
right,
Um,
absolutely. But
and I'm sure she's going to have an arc of some kind or something like that. So I'm,
yeah,
I'm not I'm not trying to prejudge. Um,
but
yeah, but that
yeah,
was cute, and there's another cute post credits thing where Superman and Mr. Terrific are staring at a building that's been
oh
like
yeah,
put back together. It was after split in half, and it's just like a fraction off, and he's just staring at it, and Mr. Terrific's like, "What?"
oh
And
nothing.
nothing. I think you just could have put that together. And he's like, oh, what? You want me to pull it apart and put it back together again?" And he's like, "No, no, no."
And then he just like storms off and kicks some rocks.
Right.
And
And
it's like
Superman's like, why do I do that?
I could be a real jerk sometimes.
Yeah.
Gee
Look, he
whiz.
doesn't mean it in a bad way. He was just
Yeah,
like looking at it and
yeah. I mean, the post credits I thought were good because they don't really set up anything, but they're like they're just there
yeah, they're
to
more
enjoy
just
it.
cute gags. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's like that, and then they show like a recreation of that scene. I forget which comic book it was, but was Superman holding Crypto kind of from the moon, looking at the Earth, which I thought was like
yeah.
a beautiful thing. And
Yes.
I did like how at the end when Superman's recharging, getting power from the sun, the
Hmm.
robots, now named Gary instead of number 4,
Yeah.
is showing him
Voiced by Alan Tudyk.
voiced by the great Alan Tudyk,
Yes.
showing him pictures of his parents, because it helps soothe him while he gets recharged. And we see now he's looking at pictures of Ma and Pa Kent, like footage of
Yeah.
him as a kid and them growing up, and
Yeah. His
it,
Earth parents.
yeah,
Yeah.
it ends even on a scene with Pa Kent holding him up while he has like a cape around his neck and doing like the little
Yeah.
Superman pose, which is just so sweet.
That was nice. I really liked that. That was
Yeah,
it was nice that plot line came full circle. Again, I wish it could been a little more developed. I'd say my big criticism of it is I wish like Superman is beaten up a lot in this movie, and
yeah,
like a lot we don't really see him at 100%.
fair enough. Yeah.
He's like beaten up, or he's weakened by kryptonite or something, and it's like I wish I could have seen Superman at full fighting strength a little more.
No,
Um,
that's fair enough. I think one of the main criticisms people had about the Zack Snyder one was that like
mhm,
Superman was just so powerful and
right.
like there was no real stakes at all. It's like he could just
Yeah,
he
and
was
I
too
and I
strong.
I like a Superman who has to struggle a bit to get the job done. I think
Right.
that's fun to see him just sort of like push against stuff. But yeah, he was a little down and out and almost sidelined a little too much in this movie.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think
just because they're partly because there's so many other characters and stuff. So I wish it could have been a little more Superman centric. That would be my big criticism of it.
No, I hear you. I think what they did is like, I mean, I guess your mileage may vary on it because like with the Zack Snyder one, they made him basically a god, just this overpowerful god that cannot be destroyed. Whereas this one, they made him more human. Because like if you look at the Zack Snyder one, the way Henry Cavill plays it, he kind of plays it as like an alien. Like he's kind of cold a little bit.
He's a little more remote. But I mean, but that was the way Snyder saw the character, and you can do all sorts of interpretations of the character. There isn't like one way to do a character, and you're gonna like if the last interpretation went one way, you're probably gonna try to zig where the other one zagged.
Right. So yeah, I think like Snyder took it way into the other direction where he made him a lot more human, a lot more empathetic.
Gunn did.
Gunn, yeah, I'm sorry, Gunn. He made him a lot more human, a lot more empathetic, a lot more warm, a lot more, have a lot more empathy and caring and
and I think that overall that is closer to the mark. I just would have liked to have seen, because really only probably in the kaiju scene is about the only scene where we see Superman who's really at like full fighting strength and operating the way he should.
Fair enough. I mean, the fight with him and the Raptors was pretty cool. Like just like using his heat vision just to take them all out and doing his super spin. That was pretty neat. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like he definitely wasn't at 100% throughout most of the film.
Yeah. Like and also I feel like I would have liked to have seen Superman solve a few more of his own problems. I mean, it's cool that like he's rescued by Lois and Mr. Terrific. But like Crypto helping him out with the drones and Luthor at the end. It's like I want to see Superman be the mover and shaker.
I see, because he does kind of depend on the help of his friends a little bit. Too much.
Yeah.
All right, fair. That's a fair criticism.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I really like the film. I give it a solid B+.
Yeah.
I think it's a great start to a new DC universe on film. I look forward to seeing what comes next. I can't wait to hear like who James Gunn and them are going to pick for Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, a lot of people love it or want to know about that too, because I mean the big three is pretty important to the DC overall. Like a lot. I mean, and people love Batman. Like people really like. I saw people freak out when they showed just a sign, a highway sign saying Gotham City. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Get a big response in your theater? Because I saw it at a drive-in, so I'm not really hearing the crowd reaction too much.
No, my wife is a huge Batman fan, so when she saw it, she was like, "Oh, Batman!"
Nice.
But yeah, like I mean, I think he knows he has to get the casting for Batman and Wonder Woman just right. I know a lot of people are talking about, I forget the woman's name, but she was in Andor, like Ariana
Grande.
No,
as Wonder Woman.
No, I know. Yes. Oh, no. Adria Arjona, that's her name.
Okay,
she's this actress. She's actually worked with James Gunn before in this film called the Belko Experiment. A lot of people are saying
I've heard of that.
She would be very good. I think James Gunn even said like, "Oh yeah, no, like I know her. She's really good. She would be a good Wonder Woman." But like, I don't think they've landed on any Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think he was talking about that recently, and I think Wonder Woman, like, I think he said the script isn't ready quite yet. And with Batman, it's a little complex because they've still got the Matt Reeves sequel that's happening, and like Matt Reeves like just turned into the script for that sequel.
Yes.
So I don't think we're seeing that until like 26 at the earliest. And possibly after that. I mean, so I think we're going to have more or less two different versions of Batman going on at the same time.
Yeah, we're going to get the Matt Reeves Batman and the DCU proper Batman. So it might be a little confusing for some people, but I don't know. It's more Batman. So who don't like more Batman?
Yeah, I mean, oops, more Batman.
Oops, all Batman.
But it'll be interesting to see, because I'm sure they're trying to gradually build to a new Justice League and take another shot at a Justice League movie, which for a variety of reasons that wasn't as successful creatively or financially as it could have been. So I would love to see them do something that's a little closer to the mark that people could respond to the way they did like the Avengers movies or whatever. I mean, it's going to be really fun to see DC really make a go of it and have all these movies and shows that are tying together. I know there's the Lantern series
Yes.
coming up. Peacemaker season 2 is just about to premiere.
Yep.
Very soon, I think.
Next month.
Next month. Okay. What else? We got Supergirl on the way. There's a Clayface movie that they've announced.
There is a Clayface. Yeah, because like I think they didn't really mention that when James Gunn made that big announcement, but then
Right.
I forget who's writing it, but they turned in a script that was totally finished, and James Gunn read it and he was like, "No, this script is done. It's really good. We should make a Clayface movie." So they're pivoting and making a Clayface movie.
Yeah, and which is offbeat choice, but it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, and I know the Swamp Thing film is still in happening. I forget which big name director is attached to that, but I know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Swamp Thing really fitting James Gunn's sensibilities.
Yeah,
so
let me look it up. But yeah, there's still definitely stuff coming down the pike. Like
I still have to watch the Creature Commando series. I didn't get around to watching that.
No, I enjoyed it. It's good.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that and catch up on that because I know that was like the first official thing. Now something I wondered. Like I've heard them say in several interviews that they're like, "Oh, in the DC universe, metahumans have been around for 300 years." Is that because like isn't the Frankenstein monster in the Creature Commandos? Is it the Frankenstein monster who's like the first metahuman or something like that? Or have they not gotten into that?
I don't,
because I know Frankenstein novel was like it takes place in like 1790 something or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's him. I mean, would you consider him a metahuman? I guess it depends on the definition of a metahuman.
Yeah, I think if we're stretching the definition, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. I was just wondering if the Creature Commando series had clarified that at all.
Oh, no. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't think they have.
Okay. Well, hey, folks, let us know. Who do you think the first metahuman in the DC cinematic universe is?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we also got some we also got some messages about this film because we put it out on our Blue Sky that we were talking about this film, and from Old Well Blue responds by saying, "Good movie. You need to know it's a new universe going in. It's a nice change to have a superhero movie you can take your kids to."
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you necessarily have to know it's a new universe or a new continuity going in. I don't know if the general public cares about that stuff too much.
Yeah, I think with James Gunn, like he's even said, like he knows that, like at this point, the whole you have to watch everything in order to catch up with what's happening. People have been kind of burnt out on that. Like you got to watch all the Marvel, Disney shows and then watch the movies to understand what's happening. So I think he's been wanting to keep each movie sort of self-contained in its own little thing. But at the same time, it will have slight connections to other movies, but you don't need to see the other movies in order to enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it because I think Marvel in particular, it's gotten very overwhelming and it's pretty impossible to keep up with everything. I still haven't watched. I don't know. I'm not too inclined to watch that Ironheart series.
Ironheart's pretty good. It's actually a lot better than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, and actually there are a couple of the movies I still haven't seen because it's just you can't keep up with everything, and I don't want to like only watch superhero movies.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of people kind of have done that. Like I've noticed, like Marvel movies don't get the same like raucous. Like people aren't as pumped to see them as they used to be. Like like even the Thunderbolts movie is actually a good movie, but like I don't think everybody's seen it. Everybody's like, I'll just wait till it'll be all streaming in a month, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the must sees that they used to. I think Gunn has said something like they're just gonna do like 2 movies a year, which I think is good because then people don't get too sick of you. So
you don't want to flood the market.
Yeah, and I think Marvel started to do a little of that.
Yeah, like all the Disney Plus shows and like 3 movies a year. People got overwhelmed and
it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it was it was fine to have all the Disney Plus shows to watch during lockdown and stuff, but
and then like the
quality becomes a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, and then the quality of the movies and the TV shows kind of took a dip just because so many people are stretched thin. I mean, I kept seeing all those articles about CGI artists and graphic designers
Hmm.
just like putting in kind of not their best work because they haven't had time to really, put in their best work because they have other things to do. They got to work on, the next Black Panther movie. So
Hmm.
the last Ant-Man movie had to suffer because of it. And yeah, so I think now both DC and Marvel understand that quality over quantity is really the way to go. So I
Yeah.
hope they continue with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I wish them the best of luck, and I hope they can make more of a go of it this time, because there's really no reason that DC can't have the success that Marvel has had in
Yeah,
TV and movies. I
yeah.
mean,
I
the,
mean,
the main, yeah, I mean, as long as they keep the quality up. I mean, I think, yeah, there is probably a little bit of superhero fatigue because we've had superhero movies for a long, long time now.
yeah.
But
I mean, I from what I understand, I think like DC has like a stronger fan base overall more than Marvel fans. Like, I mean, DC has just as interesting characters as Marvel does. They,
oh, absolutely, yeah,
no, the
yeah,
movie they can. There's no reason they can't get into movies, TVs,
yeah,
comics, of course, video games. Like, there's no reason why they shouldn't be as big as Marvel is,
yeah, yeah.
if not bigger.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we've got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. It's some of the most famous characters in the world, and if you do them well,
If you do them
yeah,
well.
if you do them well and you promote them well and all that good stuff,
Mhm.
um, and cast them well,
Yes,
because
that's key.
yeah, but I think James Gunn is very good at that, and I look forward to seeing what they do. It's gonna be neat.
It's gonna be pretty great. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's our episode, guys. Superman 2025. Definitely worth
Hmm.
a see. Check it out. Great summer fun movie. Uh,
Hmm.
2 thumbs up from the SNL nerds, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't worry, it's not as woke as you heard, folks.
Yeah. Oh, God, I saw that. I was like, what are we
That's the
doing?
stupidest fucking debate.
What are we doing, people? Really?
Yeah, because like James Gunn said something like, Superman's an immigrant, which yeah, technically he is. I mean, I suppose even more accurately, he's a refugee because he came here as a baby.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, like, no one.
and people were like, oh, we're making Superman political. Hey, when Superman got political? Action Comics #1, his first appearance. You know how Action Comics #1 starts? It's Superman saving an innocent woman from the electric chair. Then later in the story, he beats up a wife beater.
Mm.
And the end of the first Superman story is him terrorizing a corrupt lobbyist by like flying him around and running along flagpoles
Oh
on,
God.
on electrical wires. So yeah, Superman was literally political from the start.
Yeah. Why's he gotta beat up a wife beater? What's the wife beater's side of the story? Oh,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah.
just,
People just like to complain, be angry.
I know,
Ugh.
especially about things they don't know about.
Ugh.
And
Ugh.
yeah, it's stupid, and it's just like all the mock outrage.
Yeah, everybody's angry. Everybody's angry.
Everybody's angry for no reason.
Mm.
I mean, not that there aren't legitimate reasons to be angry about stuff, but
But yeah,
yeah, be angry about the right stuff.
indeed. That's
Yeah,
if you take away anything from this episode, be angry at the right things.
yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's our episode, guys. Thanks for listening as always to the podcast. As always, you can follow us on the Blue Sky at SNL
Mhm.
Nerds, and you can donate to our Patreon at non-productive.com. And as
Mhm.
always, you can follow me on all the social medias at Darren Credible, DARIN Credible.
And you can follow me on all the socials at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL, and the word comic. And yeah, let us know what you thought of the Superman movie
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Did you like it? Is it in the league with the old Superman movies? Do you like it better? Do you like it worse?
Yeah.
Where do you want to see him go for there?
Where does it rank in your listing? Where does it go?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Send us your whole rankings.
Yes. And
Actually, no, don't. I don't really want to.
You give them homework and you immediately take it away.
Yeah, no, just let us know if you liked it or not.
Yeah,
I don't care. This one's a 7th and this one's a.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't care.
We don't want to read your dissertations. We don't give a fuck.
No.
And in my TED talk, I'll explain why Superman 2025 is better than Brandon Routh but no one.
Well, Kirk Allen and Brandon Routh and George Reeves and
no one cares, Poindexter.
And Tyler Hoechlin, of course, is.
Okay. Well, now we're getting into the CW, and that's a whole.
The CW era. And Tyler Hoechlin is actually interesting because he technically played 2 different versions of Superman.
Oh, God.
And shut the fuck up.
Oh, God. Oh.
I'm a geek, and I don't even want to hear this.
Look at us slamming down on nerds. Like,
nobody hates nerds like other nerds.
That's right. Self-hatred. I love it.
Anyway, okay, enough of the Superman stuff. What do we get? Let's get back to comedy, man.
Comedy, baby.
What are we doing next week, Darren? I feel like we need a vacation from the Superman stuff. We just got to get away. We got to get out to the country or something.
Got to get away.
What do you got for me?
Well, let's get away to the country. Let's hop on our horses and explore the wild west. Let's
drive some cattle.
How about that? Slap on my New York Mets cap and get on a horse, hang out with Mr. Billy Crystal and the rest of the City Slickers.
Yeah, City Slickers, Billy Crystal, Bruno Kirby, Daniel Stern,
the late great Jack Palance.
Jack Palance, Oscar-winning performance.
Mm.
I know. Yeardley Smith is in this movie for a hot minute too.
Yes. Lisa Simpson, voice of Lisa Simpson.
Yeah.
And we see a very, very young Jake Gyllenhaal.
And actually, you know what? I just realized Helen Slater is in the movie.
What?
Helen Slater, the original Supergirl, is in the movie. I didn't think of that.
Motherfucker. Look at that. Look at us tying in the world.
We're easing away from the Superman stuff, just gradually.
Yes. You got to wean yourself off the Superman. You can't go.
That's right. You can't go cold turkey off the Superman stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to have at least one super person in a movie.
Of course.
So.
That's a responsible way to do it.
So anyway, we're gonna watch the original City Slickers, which I haven't watched in forever, probably since the 90s.
It's been a minute. I remember really liking it the last time I saw it, so I gotta watch it again and see if it holds up. But
it'll be fun. Yeah, we'll see. So join us next week. We'll be taking City Slickers apart and putting it back together again and seeing if it holds up and if it doesn't, and all that. So tell us what you think of City Slickers.
Do it.
So, and we'll talk all about it next week. And if you tell us about it, we'll read it on the podcast probably. So until then, nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.